can I help you?
Oh, hello, dear. There you are again.
I've got nothing to say to you. Why are you wasting your time? What you want is of no significance, officer. Obviously, I'm a lawyer, a legal counselor for the Dock Workers Union. I would urge you to consider what you say to my clients.
This is where you say your bid.
Detective.
Oh, this is about him.
You sure took your time, huh? Waited for him to get...
Oh, he was a real pretty boy.
I can't for the life of me understand why you did it. I mean, I would...
You might want to start asking your questions now.
Do a head count first. Connect these men to the tracks you saw, starting from the right, sitting on his right. Standard working boot across at the other table. Hobnailed working boots, size 43. He spent his youth in Villa Labos, a housing project in the Jamrock Quarter. They were in, and then standard working boot, steel reinforced toes, size. The emblem on his vest says Rowing Club. In the far corner, standard working boot, steel reinforced toes, size 44, 40-something, non-alcoholic on his neck. Forget it. Let's call this one size 41, with the light in the middle, heaving and in conclusion. These 7 are the actors on the crime scene. The footprints were theirs, but they're exactly. You've stood there for about 4 seconds, not saying anything.
The fuck is with you, fella? What are you talking about, madman? There's no 8th Hardy Boy, there's 7. Or what? You want to be the 8th Hardy Boy? We ain't hot.
Actually, boss, we've been talking and we think she could maybe...
She? So there's an 8th Hardy, and it's a Hardy girl.
Shut the fuck up, Glenn! I do the talking here.
It has to be good, if he won't let you pursue it. Looks like the lieutenant.
So let me get this straight. There is an 8th Hardy Boy. It's a she, and you don't like us talking about her?
That's right. We're not talking about this. This is a private Hardy. You're not cops here. Don't go digging around if you don't want...
Good. We are all watching each other. Officer, your question.
The pretty boy. You guys really...
Funny. But my partner and I have a serious matter to discuss with you.
You mean these boots? We all got a pair. We wore them the night we took the pretty boy out back and hung him by the neck. Yeah, we did this. Together. All of us. Until he...
There's a catch hidden somewhere. He didn't confess so that you could take them all away. It's too simple.
There is no catch. These 7 honest men have all equally come forth to tell you what happened, so that you don't waste any more of your time.
All 7 together. They're diluting responsibility. It's an anti-arrest tactic.
You don't have to answer any of his questions.
I know, Lizzie. Relax. We killed him last Sunday night. Seemed like a good way to end the week.
Known him? We don't...
Yeah!
Quiet. He came around about 3 weeks ago when...
By the Pines Co., you mean Joyce Messier? The representative for White Pines? The same company you are striking against?
No, I mean the Pines cow. The stupid-ass cow they sent in to fuck us over. But you know what? Why don't you ask her about the pretty boy? I'm sure she has interesting things to say when you...
That's enough insinuation for today, Titus. Officer, your interview is drawing to an end. Don't waste your last questions. Are you deaf? Do you think you could do that? Do you think you could arrest them all?
A trick question. Don't let her lead the conversation.
Who do you fucking think does?
That's right, asshole.
I think you got your answer.
No, you did not get an answer. Titus.
Why? 'Cause he was worthless mercenary scum. And he stepped out of line.
What kind of mercenary?
The kind that shows up when you start a strike.
A live grenade.
I can't prove it, but I know he was sent by the Wild.
Cause one night, he walked straight up to the mic and said, "I'm RNA's goddamn..."
Really?
Yeah, really. Had a gin and tonic up there, sang some RNA's paratroopers.
We couldn't believe it either. But he fucking did. Right there. Like some kind...
Sire, the tale is true. This is a serious violation of the karaoke code.
Wrong?
From rape to harassment to threat. He regrets mentioning it. Hopes you didn't.
To kill us all, if we don't open the gates. If we don't let the scab.
Yeah, he said it was his favorite joint now. Started to come in here every night. Drinking.
He grabbed someone?
Yeah. This girl's on the mic. A beautiful girl. Young. Gets into the second verse of Lover Lake. The fucker, "Show me your cunt! Why don't you show me your cunt?" Then, he gets knocked on the head with a wine bottle. Doesn't even fall down.
Aren't you fucking listening?
Yeah, me and Eugene got around. Aren't you fucking...
There's something odd. Seems like they don't want to talk about that rape Titus mentioned. Why not? This is a serious allegation. Make them talk about it.
No. You're not getting a name. That's a Martinet.
There's nothing you can do for now. He's stonewalling you.
Nothing. Your investigation here is done.
I think we're going to stick around, thanks. Some things don't add up here, Titus. I've done this job for long enough to know that people don't...
Good luck with that. You've heard everything a rent-a-cop is gonna hear from us. Real.
The Jamrock Shuffle. In a way, yes, you are treasure hunting. Most officers from Precinct 41 do.
I've got nothing to say to you. Why are you wasting your time? I am not.
You could be, Liz. You could be anything.
Even a mod? Glenn, I went to...
He's right. With a face like that, she could be on the cover of Le Debutante International. The cold look in her eyes speaks. It's not her. She's not a hardy girl.
Aggressive? You make your...
So you were spying on us, and now we've talked to Everclear. We know who these men are. The unions.
Listen, you moral intern lackeys. You're a mob, enforcing the unlawful privatization of Revachol. 20...
Fuck yeah.
So ask what you came to ask, or get back to your commanders. Let's. Aggressive?
We've talked.
Listen.
Fuck yeah.
So ask what you came to ask. Let's. What are we going to... The Union? If anything, it is the RCM who...
You see a set of tire tracks in the brown slush that covers the plaza mosaic.
What do you see?
The trash container stands. The smell of rotten food rises to greet you. You see soggy cartons, dirty rags, and organic waste. It's just organic. What's this? A blue piece of plastic sticks something larger. A clipboard. A blue
Officer, is that your... It is, look. The plastic has the RCM street grid on it. You've even got an autopsy form in there. If you don't mind me asking, how did this get in the trash? Boring. Try dangerous. You should do a thorough inventory of that. It would also not hurt to start taking notes on the case. Anyway, where were we?
Some items, such as the ledger you found, are interactable. Good.
You pick out a broken mug with an oddly racist depiction of the Yellow Man, only in its social sense.
Interesting. Reminds me of the mug collection we saw in our Weasel's apartment. Maybe he or she has been...
An interesting little clue. Let's see where this goes. Clue...
Or it may just be a coincidence.
The container sounds a muffled gong. It's just a racist mug. What's there to read here? Oh boy, here we go. What are you going to say about a broken, tossed-away mug that you dug out of the garbage? But it was in... It's the ledger you found in the trash. A pitiful cabbage of white and yellow. There's a piece of toilet paper. Or is it clean? It's a metaphor for you. It's made of dark blue plastic, hard enough to beat. Something rattles inside, and something small inside. Light, made of paper or permeables. It's not hidden per se. The compartment is made for permeable materials that would get the plastic shimmers like lapis lazuli, but it is not see-through. With your hands, you 4-sized pages hang from the clip, screwed to the top of the board. It's just toilet paper sticking to the back of the plastic. Still wet, the toilet paper peels off the plastic easily. An aluminium block runs the width. The surface is interrupted. Looks like an official mark, made to be low visibility outside the right circumstances.
What? That thing. It's a halogen watermark. We use it for adding information to RCM property. It depends. Aside from an...
Maybe yours will have how many cases you've solved.
Any capable light with the right wavelength will do. All RCM vehicles have headlights designed to reveal...
This means you can read the water.
Okay.
While a bunch of sodden papers sat, they're not exactly. Once in a while, work, strife. It's the middle of March. What do you mean? Is that all? Yes, a title, one might say even. One that draws inspiration from Snoop. Yes, all caps. One is called, the others appear more light-hearted. The guy's on a couch in an... It's going to take an effort to piece these case files together, but it can be done. Once you're done inspecting them, up there is, for once all the tasks are, sadly, the ledger only comes with an old, worn-down lead pencil. It will do, barely. But the lieutenant looks at his blue notebook. He is not really saying anything.
Know that I give this to you with resentment.
The tasks you've completed flow out of the blue inspect the victims, get the body, interview the It's not exactly poetry, but poetry would be out. A satisfying slash. You're a swashbuckler with that pen, Harry, and it feels good. Things to be done.
No, actually. Any ideas? Great. That's great. That's actually what I was thinking too. The Hanged Man. I'm going to start calling it the Hanged Man. It's good we sorted this out.
You don't exactly close them, so much as distance yourself from the smelly papers. They're a little further from your nose now. You see a set of tire tracks in the brown slush that covers the plaza mosaic. The tire tracks were left here by an unknown event that took place some days ago. It's a message. Some of that rubber stuck to the tiles right in front of the whirling in rags, and then accelerated straight into the fence, left a hole big enough for the Franco-Nigerian. The driver proceeded to back out of the yard, barely stopping before heading south. Must have been in a hurry.
You are correct. This is a rather motor carriage-friendly city. I'm not sure.
You could follow the track south. There seems to be a connection.
That's plausible. A similar reckless abandon.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage of papers hanging from the board, with the permeables drawn: arson, petty theft, spousal abuse. Handwritten, you don't exactly close them. In the back, you see, then rip them from the bind. 3. The topmost are: you don't have to be an intellectual giant to do police work. A monetary, but they appear pleasantly. These are all in a print so a dozen pages of thin copy. Yes, all that remains now. The rest of the stinking cellulose is much worse for wear. Being sandwiched between the board and the rest of the paperwork must have spared the fragile copier paper. It's the ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage of... Yes, you can piece them together using the alphanumeric code on the margin. 41 is your... It's safe to say those are the initials of the officer responsible for the case. Harry Dubois, HDB. This one is relatively easy. Cause of failure: rent too high. The mural is in true love is possible. People caught. The graffito crew is easy to track down. Only the crew, the 9,000 people subjected to the mural's message, all of Lakeside, Central Jamrock, and Villa Lobos, plus half of the eminent domain, participate in the vote. Although the case begins with what appears to be a lot of rambling on the streets as to how juvenile, a staggering 78% of voters choose to keep it. Turns out the opposition were a loud minority. And that love truly... Did anyone ask you what you believe in, man with the smelly? Not much has changed in the meanwhile. A bunch of sodden papers still sags from the clipboard. The two sides of the board, the slides snap back into place. It should be possible to just, you know, without resist. 2 ticket stubs and a handmade postcard. 2 octopuses are smiling, reaching their tentacles toward each other in the colored. Thin wax paper has been glued to a piece of cardboard. Sounds like leaves rustling when you pick it. It smells of exactly like the gum wrapper you found. The same brand of chew. Familiar handwriting. A young woman in her 20s. Harry, it begins. You're already reading. I wanted to write you a letter so you can read it when you wake up. Mate, your hand shakes. Every step I take, it grows. By the time I reach the fuel station, it has filled me entire. You, kisses, kisses, kisses. You feel the air sucked out of your lungs, and you feel the ledger slip from... No, hold on. To what?
Detective, is everything alright?
There is nothing. Again. Nothing said. Well, that's me, blue-eyed. Is it? A bitter caustic sense of loss. The cold. Here in the... Because it's always there.
Tell him. Tell him.
Ah, yes. In the old factory system, it didn't smell nice. It smelled like... betrayal. Bloated corpse of the past resurfacing. Don't prod at it. It will start moving again. There is no Voyager Road. There are no roads. Your name? It's certain. Your name is bloated. You bloated corpse. Don't prod at it. You think they would let you? Until you just... Yes.
It's delicious. Glowing lights on a dashboard emerge out of nothingness. In the upholstered
Drink. What?
the water is cold, silvery, the stuff of life itself.
Drink.
With greedy gulps, you
What happened? That does sometimes happen.
He replies with such understanding, it's as if the...
You dropped these. Are you okay to proceed? Good.
The Ledger of Failure and Hatred is a special item that can be used both as an interactable and a tool equipped in your held slot for skill bonuses. Find it under the...
Yes?
It's the ledger you found in the... It takes about half an hour to piece one together. Not much has changed in the meanwhile. A bunch of sodden papers still... Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and...
All right. Ready? I turn, you press start. It's next to...
The dashboard lights up with orange, like a leopard waking from its... The lights unfold with a little click. Cast...
There you go. I'll turn the...
As you hold your ledger's clip under the headlamp, an iridescent hologram appears.
There she is. Revachol West.
Around the borders of the watermark are dozens, no, hundreds of micro-perforations. There are many of them. The first row has 18 dots. The next is the longest. It runs all the way around. You count 216 per... The last row has 3. As you look at them, you feel your index finger reflexive, and something you'll do again before this is all over. The rectangular watermark is overlaid with the logo of the RCM, and yet the major arteries of Revachol are all recognizable. They shimmer, erect brazen.
Ah, Martinez. Let me see. Right here. No, it does not. Those are perforations.
Alpha male officers who are proud of
The first row represents your years of service. 18 years. Okay, not bad at all. What did you do before you volunteered? Fair point. This next row, the one that wraps all the way around, is your number of closed cases. Closed is good. Wow, more than 200. It's quite a lot. even for someone who's been on the force for nearly 2 decades. Usually, clearing more than 10 cases a year puts you in the 90th percentile of all RCM officers.
You know the answer already. The tingle in your index finger gave it away.
That's right. How did you know? Ah, right. Sometimes the brain's able to... For an RCM officer, especially Precinct 41, which is in the Jamrock quarter, it's rather... There are certain officers who treat their kills like some kind of ghoulish game. But it seems as though you are, or at least were, one of the good ones. So we have that to be thankful for. Yes. Everyone has their own Personally, I find it helps to keep up a few hobbies. Why not gardening? You've already got the gloves.
The lieutenant nods.
Right. I'll go turn off the lights.
You can now see your statistics on your journal page.
A rusting control panel with this panel usually closed. A typical Martinez streetlight sits among assorted floor and the light pole. This would make quite a statement in your living room.
Yes, officer. As you said.
His manner is casual, but his speech is careful.
700 real. A bargain, I dare say. Hey, I don't know where it came from, but it's not every day you get... Hello, hello. Sure, let me have a look. Anything else you're thinking of selling? I'm not purchasing any more clothing at the moment. Another time, perhaps.
stands in the middle of the traffic island, pointing toward the sea. It looks something with great kinetic energy seems to have impacted the Kurak. Someone shot him in the heart. Interesting.
Okay, I can't see it, but I take your word for it. Well, Martinez is riddled with bullet holes. This place saw a lot of action during the revolution. But the statue is recently renovated, so maybe a joke? Target practice or a political statement? If we connect every bullet hole... I've made a note. Don't hold your breath.
The king stands high above you. The woman still has her eyes fixed on the photograph in her hands. No response, wherever the...
Wait. She's just a distracted old woman. Better to leave her alone. Why?
A lorry stuck in the traffic jam. This big, heavy Grad-made machine is... The windows are clear. They've been recently washed. You can see fumes of heavy fuel oil waft over you, making your eyes sting. The odor mixes with cigarette residue. The driver, as a large metal pendant hangs from the rear view mirror. It is the seal of Royalist-era Revachol. The back end of the a book with ragged edges catches your notice.
Racist nationalist paraphernalia. Not unusual in this part of town. This is our guy. Likely, yes. This guy's proud of who he is. Drapes it all over his machine.
Honest men and women, we came here to help the harbor run smoothly in time.
I have a question. Why do all these men follow your leadership?
You think they follow because I'm big and loud? No. We were promised work. We'd be in there, working, if the bastards hadn't shut the gates. Main gate's locked, and I don't mean the scrawny mess punk either. I mean head measurer. Whatever he is. Like civilized folk.
It would be better for the neighborhood if you went home, at least for now.
No! They will give up eventually. Or when a bunch of beats me.
There's something odd in the way he carries himself. His set of clothing looks vaguely mismatched. The different pieces of the attire seem ill-fitting. His shirt is far too small and an unpleasantly tight fit, while the overalls... He ignores your question. Silence is the answer. There's something... You've been talking to him for quite a while now. Something is off.
What's it to you? Big mess, caused by Union greed. But
Every once in a while, it's like you can see glimpses of another guy under the guise of this fighter for jobs. He seems a more brutal, cunning, and suspicious person. Just a hunch. Or you just...
We're all workers, right? Workers stick together. Came from the eminent domain, in Jamrock. Backgrounds in odd jobs, heavy lifting, cargo hauling, bouncer work. I know the drill. Worked at Territorial. Ring a bell? Uh-huh. It was a long time ago.
Right to work! Right!
What's it to you? Am I a suspect?
Every once in a while, it's like you can see glimpses of another.
We're all workers, right? Workers stick together. Worked at Territorial. Ring a bell? Uh-huh. It was a long time ago.
Last we saw, your race was being superseded by the Seminese. Enough with this. Bring your troops to the city walls. Will be.
You could internalize Measurehead's race theory. It would enrich you rhetorically. The best idea.
Racists are generally.
Welcome to Revachol. You must think redheads are.
I am not.
The drawings are precise and look true to their pseudo-scientific ambitions. One thing, however, it is not entirely free of throwbacks in the phylogenetic tree. His large jaw, for example, could be a trait indicative of criminalism. Also, his earlobes could be small.
Your silence betrays your inferiority. You do not have a reply. You should enter a deep race slumber. Don't be vulgar. White or not has got little to do with this. The race enigma runs much. Mr. Claire is also to serve is noble. It takes discipline. Your petulant individualism has only contributed to your race failure. It is lax and jam. Individualism. You have gotten these ideas from degenerate youth culture, have you not? Of course, I am not surprised you enjoy it so much. This has happened to many of the side products of the South Island. We are the future. I am a descendant. The narrow streets of Ulembuir are with me in my genetic dreams. I see young Simone's women walk. No. I have heard about it, yes.
This could have made him more open to discussing the race enigma with you.
I think this racist is better than the last, but
that will be the...
He will grant us 3.
Your pedomorphic friend has quick wits. A protruding occiput, and
the lieutenant does not.
You should keep him close. The congenital defect of farsightedness does not render...
He does not so much as glance at the object.
Stop showing me your pathetic cup.
He had nothing to do with it.
I am not the first line of defense.
You pick up on something artificial in his tone, like he's putting on an act. This is unlike him.
The hardy man. Now leave me be. Fine. They have recently fallen. Find out for yourself. And don't...
Interesting.
Your race descend.
The man looks at you, silent.
You are not Santiago. Santiago is not...
Ask what kind of races there are first. Classification is core to this stuff.
Do you? What thing? We already got...
You are obviously a liberal. There are 3 categories of race. Type A, the heroic races. Type B, the servile races. And the vile CF race. Those are a receding genetic pool has led them out on reprehensible street. You know them by...
Mahoon is a derogative term for fur in some municipalities.
The Maun are...
Colorful tassels are.
The Vespert, the other overproduction, as proven by the Maun and the Mesk. The indigenous, the Areopagites are the the latter is perfected. Type B.
The Khoikos of Grad. Yugo? Jims?
Yes, pinkness. The Khoik.
Wouldn't he be 1-4 F?
The Vasholian.
Is it 82,000 years that we've been recording history? You have very little idea of what is happening. But that seems a little off.
The revolution. Enough of tips. The F are a museum. It would be cruel to entertain. You understand nothing. You need to internalize. I cannot possibly imagine what else we have to discuss.
Aces high. For the rest of the world, the Aces High is just a cool Revachol thing, politically neutral. In Revachol, it still holds Rev.
Yes?
It's just a racist mug. What's there but file cabinet stands steady as ever, and the unlocked drawer,
Hola, Wandering Man. How can I help you? Los Ardis? They're an independent they're sort of like you. Preserve the rule of law and all that. Hola, Wandering. Yeah, the janitor who gave me the key to his apartment said the guy's a bit of an asshole. Like I said before, I don't know much about this weasel, but the bossman said he's a real piece of...
Looking for something? Oh yeah, they're a big deal. Like someone with... Not at all. Hell no. Trusting street thugs with their... God damn. Thanks for that, but...
He doesn't live in Martinez. The tracks are as they have ever been. A bit more worn, perhaps. Fortunately, the...
Yes? What do you want to know? Good. What do you see?
The man ponders his cooking utensils and gives you a little nod. He smiles. It's almost like music. Especially, he looks up at you, then looks away. Shrugging is an international sign for, no, I don't know what's behind. You see a heavy, old cobalt paint. It leads to a side building. The door does not budge. The door does not.
Can I help you? Another thing. Great. I love those. Yes, and the phone company is taking its sweet time sending someone to fix it. Losers. Who told you that? Fine, yeah. It looked like someone had messed with the wiring. It was shortly after the hanging, but I don't know if it's If you do find out who cut the line, though, let me know, so I can forward them the... Yes, and the phone company is... It's not strange, it's... Who told you that? Fine, if you do find out who cut the line, though... Oh, yes, that door, sure. There's nothing mysterious about it. It's just a... Yes. What else? Oh, yeah. No, I don't... Or some boring storage...
He's attempting to maintain an air of indifference. It's absolutely not...
Fine, okay. So, I haven't opened it. I have cleaned the whole place 100 times over, though. After the animals. Yes?
The door is closed. Still nothing. The lieutenant gives you a quick glance. The window stands broken in its frame. The morning light hurt.
Yes? Hello? Me? No one.
She doesn't really want to be disturbed now. If she's such a working-class woman, why isn't she working?
Not all the time. Right now I'm browsing books. Even a working-class woman needs something to read. It is. I know you are. What with?
What with? A lot of things. For example, the woman before you nods. The display rack is brimming with worn paperbacks featuring rows and rows of Yamdala men blur your vision. You make up maybe 100? Not even close. Man from Hyamdal in hell. Man from Hyamdal.
Oh, blood and violence, scantily clad women, epic narratives, all those. What does it matter? If you're a novice of the series, I'd recommend Hyamdalaman, the man from Hyamdal. It's supposed to be a good introduction to the series.
A small mountain of colorful board game boxes. There are an endless variety of There's also a large hardbound tome with intricate books in a board game section. Who wants to read books? There's a box that says Wirral, 3rd edition. That price is steep, but then it's the 3rd edition mega set-in supplement, so it makes sense.
Wonderful board game. Raubritter is a fun game of economic competition, but can get quite intense after a while. We have games for the whole family. You can play with your children. Don't be so hard on your... For playing with friends, I'd recommend Suzerainty. It's a civilization building game where you build a civilization, then set off to brutally colonize and repress other lousy or... I've heard they turn people into occult enthusiasts. Hello again, esteemed officer, and welcome to Crime, Romance, and Biography.
This bookstore is not strictly about crime. Several maps have been attached to... The maps look old and faded. Your eye catches a map of insulin. This large map, Ozon, Laura disintegrating into mathematics. In the northeast, a dust mite stands on a... You can. 850. The ocean break connections to other... You have little eye. Perhaps they are gods. The north coast to the east, Hudon. You feel you're just west of Cold.
I'm sorry, they're quite valuable, though they might not look it. The map of Martinez is 90 cents, though. That old thing, it's from when some...
The place does not look...
They didn't get that far, for some reason.
Shelves full of browsing through. Suddenly, high speed next to...
I really must insist. I'm sorry, I did not mean to rush.
Shelves filled to the brim with crime novels featuring crime fiction. These books, what's not a single mention of all the stress this work creates upon the officers. You see, a killing is declared. Dick Mullen, in owner, turns out he fainted. Yes, tragedy. After all this, you still haven't found the answer to the one question that matters. Who is... Your quick eye notices a worn paperback from... Could it be the motifs of unstable identities and shocking betrayal? Then this is the book for you.
Of course. Such violence and immorality.
Crime fiction. These books, not a single mention of all the stress. Shelves filled to the brim. In your hand, you hold Dick. The cover features the tagline.
Are you really reading that, detective? That's probably for the best.
It's much more about the dark and deadly Atom. The story opens. Spillane needs Mullen to drive him in from Vespa to a small town along the 2 days. Desperate to clear his name, Mullen manages to convince the Vespa.
What's the matter, detective?
The lieutenant shrugs. Resigned. Of course, Mullen didn't do it. That's the whole premise of the book. Anyway, Mullen returns to the seaside. In your hand, you hold... A row of mugs sits on the shelf. Each one, yes, your broken mug friend would feel very much at home.
There's the missing tin soldier. Whoever lives here might have used the Whirling's container to dump his trash, and now they've drawn the ire of the Union.
An interesting little clue. Let's see where this goes. Perhaps you should break into apartments more often.
Who knows?
You could ask Everard who this person is once you're done here.
again, officers. Have you come to a...
The lieutenant is desperately searching for another handkerchief. Hatred, disgust, it's the woman on the...
That is on her. Someone's got to keep an eye on her.
Ozon is an...
On a first-name basis with her, are we? Piggy's moving. Have you got a crush on her? Give me a moment.
This door is made of metal and appears to be... This coin-operated viewer is facing southwest. Its coin slot is full of fossilized, a thick layer of... That's Kuno. Under the graffito, a sea of blues and greys appear. Behind the water lies a coast, studded with You know this to be the star. Around the large wooden building you see chunks of sea ice gathered on the beach, and a small tent set up on the... A thick layer. You know this. Around the large wooden building.
Probably some...
A simple but clever solution to... The metal feels cold. This coin, why place a tourist attraction in the middle of...
There was a revitalization. They got as far as the street lamps and that statue on the intersection before something went sour. I suspect it was Erard's Claire's doing. He muscled them out. It's how it usually goes around here. We should have done something about the Union 10 years ago.
Your money disappears into the coin slot. The curtains on the lenses shift. It looks as if it...
Really?
You see several packaged raincoats fill a low shelf beneath a display of croissants and juice bottles. The raincoats are transparent, except for the big...
What is what? If you want to buy one...
Her attention is drawn to the raincoats. Stealing one undetected...
Here you go.
Mr. Dubois, a pleasure as always. You don't have to sit down this time, since you've already sat on that. Great! You want to bounce something off your old friend Mr. Clare, right? Well, let's hear it, Harry. Absolutely, Harry. What's on your mind?
Control panel with several knobs. Marsh. On. Alert. Off. A rusting control. Marsh. With a loud grind, the crane shifts overhead, moving a massive metal container through the air. With a surprisingly quiet thump, the harbor sleeps as the strike rages in the distance. The crane can rest again, now that its purpose. The rusty control panel grows warm to the touch. A faint smell of burning rubber reaches your nose.
I can't see how that was worth the wreckers, except for seeing the crane in action, which I admit was satisfying.
The crane does not return to its original. Before you stands a cargo container. Just one.
Is this like your thing with that wall again? There are a million containers here. Why are you fixating on this one? You just pick. We are not here to interact with containers. We are here to talk to the Union, right?
No reply. The knock produces a hollow ring of metal. Doesn't sound like there's any. You attempt to turn the handle, to no avail. To your left, the lieutenant considers your actions with some puzzlement. You're back before the cargo container. Its draw has not lessened since you were last here. The payphone hangs mutely on the wall. There isn't much more to do. The file cabinet stands steady as ever, and the unlocked drawer slides. The drawer slides. The file cabinet stands steady as ever. Look how blurry all...
Hola, wandering man. How can I help you? Los Ardi? They're sort of like you. Preserve... still here, stuck in this damn jam, my man. What's up?
Keep coming back. That's good, officer. Keep browsing those clothes. Keep saving that economy.
You find your hat. The box smells like cat piss.
Economical, but also trendy. Look first-hand. Buy second-hand. Keep the economy. Haven't you heard, officer? We've got to be economically conscious. Very cool. The economy thanks you, officer.
Something cold grazes your hand. Synthetic and...
Good choice, officer. Mega sporty. And it's only $4.50 for you, sir.
The speakers below are banged up and worthless. The sneakers triumph over them. They're a pair of found...
Those sneakers, mister. Those sneakers are the latest
Only Fun Ultra. These ones, a small...
No, don't look at the speakers, officer. Look at the... No, don't...
Samaran trash. That sounds like they're from the Samaran People's Republic.
The shine on these sunglasses lasts a lifetime, officer. 100% guaranteed.
You see a Samaran street vendor surrounded by a motley assemblage of goods. When he realizes you're looking at him, his face breaks into a wide, welcoming grin. The name Sileng is...
Happy shopping, officer. You're very cool. Bang, you're right, officer. 100%. No playing around then. Strictly business. Maybe I can interest you in some premium menswear instead. You mean...
No hassle. There's a little of a hassle here, it appears. A moral hassle.
It is! Practically free. Yours for 5 cents a piece. Rock that tuna. Why not some macaroni too? No problem.
Wait. Humanex. Humanitarian aid.
What?
A convincing performance. Right.
Look, officer. I'm just a retailer. You'd have to talk to my supplier if you got questions.
Interesting.
Only the coolest goods in Revachol. I've got sneakers, speakers, extremely comfy pants too. Good joke.
You glance around the decrepit buildings.
It's beautiful. Beautiful freedom.
It is, yes. Anyone can set...
That's right. No permits, no bureaucracy. That's why this...
If you wanted to be cynical about it, you could say we are here to protect the interests of property holders. I am not, however.
My man...
Gossamer is a fine, filmy substance consisting of cobwebs spun by small spiders, seen especially in autumn. It's safe to say he's referring to the near absence of regulations.
Hyper cool. I'm an entrepreneur, officer. I've got sources. Anything for you.
Start with a little compliment, then work your way up from there.
Oh, okay. An investment? What kind of investment? Ha! That! Sounds like a fair deal or...
Corruption.
It's just like bus or seagull. A kid watching out of a window describing things going by. He doesn't like it too much, but what do you do?
Hello, hello. Let me know if I can help you with anything. Sure, let me have a look. Anything else you're thinking of selling? Another time, perhaps.
the dock workers. A ceiling height window. The hawthorn, you see 2, maybe 3 bushes grown into a single thicket over a period of circa 50 years. There's a little slide panel up there to let some air in. No need to... One can't see into the union box from the yard outside. That hawthorn is too thick.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here. Again.
Good one, Titus.
How many people have you...
Or send them to Reunion to rot. For 20 years. For life. Oh, so you...
So he's hanging a man, slowly, without breaking his neck.
We hanged him.
Didn't they take...
The autopsy did not reveal anything too conflicting this far. You just have to wing it.
Titus, you don't have to...
We overpowered him.
Then we left him for seagulls, maggots, and you...
Make them a bit more uncomfortable first, then see if it all adds up.
With numbers, asshole.
No, he hasn't. Not yet.
Weren't you fucking listening? The fucker came to our bar. It happened right here.
Titus is solid as a rock, and so are a few others. But Elaine, who looks like he might be Titus's right-hand man, the least antsy of the bunch. Definitely not. This little rat-faced fellow is solid, too. Always fidgety. Him neither. Mostly keeps to his tomato juice, or whatever he's...
With numbers, asshole.
No, he hasn't. Not yet.
No. Of course he's having trouble breathing. Just look at how fucking fat he is.
Fuck off, Shanky. Angus is a powerful guy.
Keep your eye on this powerful guy. Sooner or later, he's going to break like a piece of twig.
And fuck.
This one is a stone wall. You won't get...
Like what, copper? Yeah, lawman.
It's almost an anthropological site.
Not in the arresting mood.
By your side, the lieutenant keeps his hand away from his holster, while the little rat-faced man reaches into his sleeve. There's a...
Wise move. You... About fucking time.
I've got nothing to say to you. Why are you wasting your time?
Can I help you? You're already set for the night. Can I help you? Another thing. Great. I love those. Yes.
Oh, hello, dear. There you are again.
The man ponders his cooking utensils and gives you a little nod. The worn and beaten
We can see.
You can revisit the bench if you ever need to pass.
An old callbox. East Delta Commerce Center. This must be the name of the doomed commercial area. Two cables are plugged into the... This orange machine is buzzing like an old submarine. It has. Turning the crank feels oddly satisfying. A few bricks have fallen off, revealing a compartment behind the wall.
Seems like an old bunker from the... It means there are five...
He likes this find. The bear's eyes are still glowing red, watching over. A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace. Color, a lush layer of coal. Maybe you could paint something with this coal. Leave a cave painting for future archaeologists. A hollow ring echoes through the furnace. Your toe hurts.
Yes?
Hello again, officers.
What for? Well, if it's for art... Let me stop you right there, Piggy. You have... There, Piggy. I guess art just isn't really...
They do say the painter always paints.
That's pretty fucked up. Even for you, Piggo. I think everyone would rather you... You're a real sad sack. You know that? Oh, but I'm all out of fuel.
You know what you should be able to find in your government-issued vehicle? Red-dyed heavy fuel oil. Are you kidding me? Fuel oil is so much cooler. No way you're disfiguring that beautiful wall with something as pedestrian as ordinary paint.
My fuel oil is for my kinema. Use your own fuel if you are unable to contain your artistic impulses, but please, leave my kinema out of it.
A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace. A lush layer of coal now covers your skin. Maybe you could paint something with this coal. Leave a cave painting for future archaeologists. No. A lush layer, maybe you could paint...
Looks like it. No one has used it in ages.
It's dark, the echo is...
What are you doing? Wait, really?
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering. Casting like a smooth draw, the filament slides into the speaker.
Good afternoon. Please repeat. Is this the production? Good. Please repeat the password.
I'm afraid we are not doing that.
Now, can you please repeat? Received.
Don't worry. Passwords of...
Fortress accident. Is there any? Thank you.
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering, casting the framework in a soft glow. Tiles on the cube, the filament slides out of its glowing nest. Some of the writing has faded with age.
Oh, it's you again. Are you looking for a dye?
The barbell waits patiently on the floor, like a...
You're right. The weight may fall off. Better not touch it then. It would be a violation of EPISA.
the investigation going? Found any curses yet? Oh, that's great! I hope exciting adventures lie ahead. And maybe you can help Mother become less afraid. Oh, that's Auntie Billy. She's nice if a bit distressed. I think she is a bad husband. Not very nice or helpful. It's the type of... Or there could be a story about a poor lady getting a rich man. It's about man and lady business, sir. Maybe some about other books? Oh, I think that's why people...
Seems like most people who read those books fail to get more famous from reading them.
Mm-hmm.
The dented yellow mailbox greets you with its graffito, bullet holes and... The tear machine your bottles clunk into the machine. A small cabinet on the wall is filled with various medicine bottles, nasal sprays, and blister packs. They all bear the Saint Baptiste pharmaceutical.
Saint Baptiste. You know, Saint Baptiste Pharmaceutical.
She is right. Saint Baptiste, the company.
I don't know. I don't really know what hypnogamma is. Uh-huh. Okay, here. I hope Saint Baptiste makes you feel better. I don't really know what... Uh-huh. Okay, here. I hope Saint Baptiste makes you feel better. Okay, here. I hope Saint Baptiste makes... Okay, here. I hope Saint Baptiste... Okay, here. I hope Saint Baptiste makes you feel better or something. Okay, here. I hope Saint Baptiste makes you feel better or something. Is this about the questions again? Because I don't really know.
Well, hello. Someone seems to have found himself a bottle of... Oh no, you light reflect... Wow, the god... Fine.
You've passed up your chance to start drinking alcohol for now. But don't worry.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and, as you tap on the gauge, the indicator pin.
Now, that's enough fun with the foldable headlights.
The greatest in browsing through the book, your educational survey is done. Did you catch any of that? No. Oh well. It seems, oh yeah, this is what I was made for. A pop quiz. Thanks for nothing. Dolores Day. Dolores. Incorrect. Her colors. Steer clear of this one. Yes, the quiz is correct. As the question 2. Easy. Everybody knows the answer to this. You, me, anybody. Incorrect. Incorrect. Even though the word correct. Franco question got it under control. No problem. Incorrect. Step correct. The most finals. I've got it. Honest. Correct. Everything. Congratulate and F. You would have done better if you just left Dolores Day. You stare at the now from the back cover. She can't be much older than a mid-third. In cold, detached to the Yugo Gradra as ethnic tech, it would physically hurt you to keep reading. Are you sure? They go through a brief and he toils. She spent the memory of their short time spent together, tortures as life leaves their remains. The face of King Freecell smiles at you. For some reason, this section you also skip over. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Bear wrestling. It seems to be, according to this extremely credulous account, Uncle Sport, as he's affectionate, based on the support mat. It's quite straightforward. According to the SRV, this is the SRV we're talking about. If you think those are the real numbers, that's very much the idea. President Kaczynski, as long You flip back to the front. It takes a moment. Why they decided to, as you leaf through this section. The main feature though, the Tip Top Tournée is an inter-Isolari racing series, mostly known for its high speeds. This so-called artist spotlight is really just, you think you're, instead you find where to even, so all of it, basically. Oddly enough, there's no way. Have you ever, more than that, they're likely anagrams. Under capitalism, thus, and that precise, at the end of the day, it's the destruction of these 750,000 real. Sure, that's because you haven't been reading critically.
Ah, come on. Can this article read your mind? Well, there you have it. No reason. If I had to wager, I'd say they've never even seen the...
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before... You take the legal documents out of the envelope. In your hand, you hold the cover, the tagline.
Are you really reading that, detective? Good luck finding it.
The point is, for the story, Spillane needs Mullen to drive him in from Vesper. 2 days late, desperate to clear his name.
What's the matter, detective?
The lieutenant of course, Mullen did. Deneuve reveals that not only is the local police captain in on the amphetamine ring, so one evening, yes, comfort and pleasure, the warmth of another human's touch. As the two love, always aim for the center of mass. Whatever it is, Mullen never hears the words. A blow to the base of his skull knocks him out cold. In your hand, you hold Dick Mullen. This door is made. No one answers.
We should return in the evening, at 9 p.m. the earliest. Yes? What do you want to know? You mean like a brief? 3 days ago, there's a strong prejudice against involving the RCM in what's seen as union matter. Just to be clear, we are police officers. Good.
The worn map features the patch. Your finger moves. Finally.
For a more detailed view of...
The note is written with someone has. You'll find the filament memory with the. The note is written. Someone has scribbled. You'll find the filament memory with the offsite copy in the frozen ice cream maker. Please take it home, ASAP. It's important. I'd do it myself if I lived in a civilized place with a freezer. Take care, Suliswa.
Really? You don't have a single game? Oh, I'm sure that child would love to get his hands on the filament memory. Even if he doesn't know what to do with it. It probably looks like someone from that radio game company upstairs. I'm a little surprised. That's implausible.
You stare at the back cover. She can't be much older than her mid-30s. In cold, the Yugo as ethnic, it would physically hurt you to keep reading. Are you sure? You've made the right life choices today. In cold, the Yugo as ethnic, it would physically hurt you to. You've made the right.
Gendarmerie, you found me.
His slender figure is backlit by city lights. Its distant streets.
Gendarmerie.
His slender
It was mine. My friends use it from time to time to visit me. So tell me, are you here to make things right again? Then I have some good news for you. My Sunday friend is visiting me tonight. I told him about you and he'd like to say hello. Step in. He's already waiting. Mm-hmm. That's why I chose this place. Martinez is special.
Wait. Suddenly you are digging things?
Trust me, you do. That's nice, but I don't have anything to tell you. It's my—
He takes another drag of his unfiltered cigarette and looks around. Downstairs, a cat crosses the yard, disappearing into the bush.
Besides, I've got to run.
Something tells you you're never going to talk to an individual this cool or mysterious ever again.
To the city. It's a beautiful night.
Something flutters in the corner of the lieutenant's mouth as you're saying,
We'll talk. Just not tonight. Take care, all right?
and he's gone again. Looks like it's becoming a theme for him.
Right after you.
Officers of the Revachol Citizens Militia.
His hands are clean and well manicured.
My name is Charles Vildrouin, and I am an official with the coalition government. I heard you talking to my friend outside. Very good. Super.
Hanging? What a drag. He seems like a cultured gentleman. You should ask him about the finer things.
Of course.
The lieutenant takes out his notebook and nods to you to proceed.
The coalition, the economy impacts the entire international community, which is why it requires international... you could say I'm undoing some of the material damage the international community caused when we arrived here. La communauté Your employer, technically speaking. The governing authority of Revachol. It is the most important thing. It's the central goal, which is essential.
Basically, it makes sure the price...
Précisément. That's why the Institute of Price Stability works, but not too far below. The coalition believes in the importance, a sound monetary... But oh, I don't have my leaflets on me today. That's too bad. You can always call our information line. It's the international... But of course, because moralists believe in a normal, stable world governed by democratic values. Martinez... Revachol is, but they are working towards it. You're all doing very well here, relatively speaking. Is this option D usually the most? Not boring, my friend. Moralism is... Now, enough of this delightful political interlude. Was that... Whatever you wish, officer. I'm sorry to say I did, officer. Officer, it's very difficult to describe.
He holds out his hands and blossoms his fingers.
What do you mean, like in a play?
It was just so strange. I was on the balcony when it happened, getting some fresh air. I remember that first they came in, carrying what looked like a body. And then I saw... That's when I understood. I should not...
Sounds like the victim was unconscious, or at least incapacitated. Well done, detective.
I couldn't tell you exactly.
The lieutenant sends you a sharp look at the mention of that number.
I went back inside.
Were you able to...
Officer, the yard was pitch black. All men, I presume. But again, I couldn't see very clearly. Well, that's the strangest part, officer. Nothing happened. Eventually, their shouts died down, and that was all. There were no gunshots. No celebratory shouts. You're right, of course. That is what one is supposed to do, and I'm afraid I don't have anything else.
About what time was all this?
All I can say is that it was late. No, I didn't see the corpse until the following day. Of course, anything I can do to assist the RCM. I'm sorry to say I did, officer. Officer, it's very...
He holds out his...
What do you mean?
It was just so... I was on the balcony when it... That's when I...
Sounds like the victim was unconscious, or at least...
I couldn't see that. Let's just say that the laboring... I went back...
Were you able...
Officer, the yard was... Well, that... Eventually, their shout... I'm afraid I don't have...
About what time was...
All I can say... No, I didn't see the corpse until the following day. Of course, anything I... Ah, my friend. Kedra is a... That it's never going to happen. It's warm. Kedra's an emerging market, but it still has a long way to go. Maybe that's why my friend's menage... I'm all ears, officer. A moment. Do you have everything you need from me? I'm afraid we won't have the chance to speak again once you leave. Sure. Go.
Yes?
Was there anything else? My friend, how did any of us? Au contraire. It's how millions of people... Sorry. Who? But I told you, officer. He's a bright young man here to pursue his education. Officer, he's deeply in... He's a truly free spirit. I'm just enjoying the view. Listen.
The baby is crying in the neighboring apartment.
No. Listen. The Insulindian Bay. This place used to be a luxury, but the millionaire... My friend comes...
A busy bee? What an odd choice of words.
I'm all ears, officer. Of course.
Trying to sneak.
The door is closed. This door, still the lieutenant...
Yes?
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage of papers hanging from the board, with the permeables... The fan stands still. The lights are on. The lights. The switch must be broken. Because the switch must be... The bed is still cold from the broken window, and not too inviting. But it's yours. You've earned... The bed is still cold from the...
Here we are again, my broken bud. You're not cool. It's your
That pain in your right side is your enlarged liver, by the way. As for your kidneys, you've really been compounding the damage lately.
There's no... You're just stuck here. In the half-world. How many...
Thou art honorable and just, sire. Women.
What do you think you're...
Let it.
But it never...
The door, this door, still.
Yes?
Can I help you? Got the 20 real? Good. You got the room for the night.
You look like shit. And I don't mean that as a metaphor.
Like undercover?
Well, as far as disguises go...
Oh, come on, Jean. It looks like it's been a rough week.
It's not just this way.
There's something about this guy that matches with a face in your head. He might be wearing a disguise.
I'm not getting involved in this.
Watch out for yourself, loser.
That voice, so very familiar.
Oh, really? I wonder where. That's the where you remember me from? You don't say.
The woman in
I would really prefer not to.
a patrol officer is the lowest rank in the RCM. Below lieutenant.
Okay.
Hi, gendarme. Another rendezvous. Hi. So what brings you here? You did? And how did you like him? I told you, he can be very useful. I guess that's the charm of powerful people. What about me, gendarme? Bye-bye, gendarme.
The man ponders his cooking utensils and... A rusting control panel. You grab the handle and pull the lever up. As soon as the metal connects against the contact pins, you hear a loud clunk. Then, the water lock starts moving.
All right, we can go to the coast now. Expect rugged terrain and drunks. And if you wanted to forge that document for Evrard, now you can.
You take the legal documents out of the envelope. A 12 to 40 month construction period.
Hello, hello. Let me know if I can help you with anything. Sure, let me have a look. I'm not purchasing any more clothing at the moment. Anything else you're thinking of selling? Another time, perhaps.